Hey guys, welcome back to Out of Debt with Lex. If you're new here, my name is Lex, and today we are back with a little bit different style of video. I've been doing my monthly updates where I just am showing you the piece of paper where I'm going through all of my debts and updating what they're at. But I'm actually going to be adding another video to the channel on a monthly basis, and this is the September reset is what I'm calling it. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down and budget with you guys. I have a couple of interesting budgeting spreadsheets, and I'm also going to be doing like a goals check-in, and normally I'm also going to be doing my layout, but I actually did it early this month. I did it in August, and so not this month, but next month I will be doing my layout and everything with you guys. But this is a new style video, so let me know what you think. Let me know what I could improve on or add to it. Right now it's like the very first stage of it. So with that being said, at the beginning of this year I actually did purchase a couple of different budget layout, goal layout type of spreadsheets, and I actually didn't use them very much. I used them in January and February and then kind of gave up on them. But I think they're really valuable and I want to bring them back, and I want to motivate myself to use them, which is why I'm making videos about it each month. So that way I know I'm being accountable to you guys for using them. I'm going to share my screen quick and show you guys what the August breakdown of the budget is, and then we're going to set up the September spreadsheet as well. So let's get into it. So now you should be able to see my spreadsheet. You can kind of see the financial overview of what we budgeted versus actual and then the difference. So for expenses, I actually didn't budget any of them because I wasn't really sure what to budget. And so now I have the actual amounts that we paid, and I can kind of use the actual amounts to make our September budget and try to actually budget that money in. Bills was pretty spot on, budget versus actual. And then debt payments was also pretty spot on, budget versus actual. Here you can see our income. So these are my 2 paychecks. Sean also did get a little paycheck from his part-time job right at the end of August, but he should be getting quite a bit more in the month of September. And he also, fun announcement, I did put a comment on my last video, but fun announcement, he actually did get a job as of yesterday. So he's officially employed, which is so exciting, and it'll mean so much for like our financial journey. It's been a long time coming. He's been trying to get a job for forever, like a full-time job. So very exciting stuff. More to come on that, but right now he just pulled in that. We also had $16. I'm still getting paid from Patreon. I have all of my videos up on my Patreon from Lex Listens, which is my music reactions channel. I just haven't been posting to Patreon much, which is why it's not really creating much money, if any at all. Other than that, I have this side hustle section, which we made $961 from last month, almost $1,000 between me doing Shipt and my husband doing DoorDash. So that's pretty exciting. Normally, like once we both have jobs again that are paying us paychecks, it won't be as much of a thing, but especially with the one income from me, we needed more income in order to pay our bills and stay on top of our debt. So that's how we did that. And then we also had a miscellaneous of $200. The other thing I wanted to show you guys was this graph, which is the where my money goes graph. Essentially, it breaks down where all of your money is going. As you can see, our rent is about 26% of our income. Then the next up is groceries, my husband's car, credit card loan, car, like all of it is like bills that we're paying a lot of money on. Another thing I wanted to call out, kids. It was a little bit higher on the kids expenses side of things last month because of school starting and it's transitioning seasons, which means my kids need like winter clothes, fall clothes. It's in the 60s now, so it's definitely getting a little bit chillier outside. We also had a little bit more than usual for home essentials. We actually had our husband's family come and stay with us, and we wanted the house to look really nice, so we bought a bunch of like cleaning supplies, fixed up things around the house that had like kind of like just gone haywire. So that was a little bit higher than normal. But yeah, overall not too bad for the month, I would say. And also this is just so valuable for me to know kind of what we're looking at in terms of like what are we paying for things, you know? So now we are going to set up September's budget. So bear with me because it's gonna be quite a bit of information. Okay, so to start with, my paychecks, I get paid on the 8th and the 22nd this month. So the 8th and the 22nd. I don't know when my husband will get paid, like which days he's getting paid or anything like that. I know he's going to be bi-weekly, but I have no idea any of that information. So I'm going to leave his stuff blank for now and just say we're not expecting anything from him. Side hustles blank, all of that for now. For the month of October, we'll have a much better outlook on what that will look like, and we can definitely estimate it and budget it a lot better. But for this month, we're just going to work with what we know. So that being said, I generally get paid $2,701. We're going to go over to the bills section. So starting with rent. Rent is due on September 1st. It's already been paid at this point, but that's okay. We're going to budget $17.75 for rent. MG&E, which is our gas and electric, we are going to budget $272 for. Daycare, we no longer do daycare. Eventually, we might have to bring it back, but as of right now, we are trying not to do it, which means that is $0. Utilities is going to be due on the 10th of September, and that is going to be $110. Verizon is due on the 10th as well, and that is going to be $209. Then we have car insurance, which is due on the 17th, and that is going to be $186 for the both of us. And then we have renter's insurance, which is separate, which we are going to pay $23 for. Subscriptions, we don't really have subscriptions right now. I probably need to update this because I did update this in January when we still were paying for all of these subscriptions. I'm pretty sure we're not paying, the only thing we're paying for is iCloud, I believe, which is due on the 22nd. And that is $10 a month. I should probably update these off camera, and hopefully by next month I'll have a more updated subscriptions list. I don't know that we pay for Paramount Plus or Disney Plus or Acorns anymore, but I can definitely check it out. Next up, we're gonna go over to the debt section first, and then we'll come back to the expenses, which are more of like the groceries, gas, that type of thing. So starting with the Upstart loan, that is due on the 2nd, and the budget for that is $91 a month. Then we have my husband's Capital One. I believe that's paid off, so we shouldn't have anything for that. Then we have, that's due September 6th. September 7th, we have my Capital One payment, which is $305 a month. Then we have my Chase card, which is due on the 14th, and that is $40 a month. Then we have my car due on the 15th. We are going to make a bigger payment this month of $360. Essentially, we have 2 payments plus like $45 to pay left on it. And so I'm just adding a little bit to my normal minimum payment on both of my next 2 payments. So that way I could just pay it off by October. So that's the goal. That's what we're going for. 2 more payments. My husband's car is $529 a month. The line of credit we use is about $30 a month. Synchrony is paid off. I think it was normally due on the 20th, but it is paid off. Credit card loan, line of credit, whatever you want to call it, that is due on the 20th, and that is $366 a month. We have the UW credit card, which is due on the 21st, and that is $142 a month. Then we have Wells Fargo, which is due on the 22nd, and that is $85 a month. And then we have Upstart loan number 2, due on the 12th, which is $138 a month. And now we actually have to add a couple columns. This is built with like, I don't know how many columns this is, 12 columns. And we actually have more debts than that. So that becomes a problem when we're budgeting. So we're gonna add, and that'll bring us to all of our debts. So that's due on the 27th, due on the 28th, and due on the 27th. So for the Chase card, it's gonna be $40. For the Citi card, it's gonna be $41. And for Discover, it's gonna be $225 this month. And then we're also just gonna bring both of these down. Okay, so all of the debt payments are now budgeted, and last but certainly not least, we're gonna take a look at the expenses. We actually didn't budget any expenses this month. I'm curious if I can actually budget these a little bit better than I have in the past. I've always struggled with the expenses category. I'm really good at budgeting for the like bills, the debts, that type of thing. But for some reason, these expense categories always get me like, how much am I going to pay for groceries this month? How much am I going to pay for gas? So this is a skill that I'm really looking to build and get better at. So for groceries, let's take a look at last month and see what we paid for groceries. So last month we paid $816.67, but we also had a very large grocery run at one point for when his family was coming. So we're gonna budget $600 for the month. I know that seems like a big difference, but honestly, we bought so many more groceries than we would have last month. So I think that's pretty accurate. Gas, we paid about $100 last month, but I think that was honestly kind of low. So I'm gonna budget $200 for gas. Is that high? No, I don't think that's high. $200 for gas. We'll give myself, honestly, $0 for coffee. I think everything else should be relatively low. Let's see. The big category that I don't want to continue is the overdraft fees. I paid $45 in overdraft fees last month, and I don't want that to continue. The only other thing I can think that I need to definitely budget for is the diapers, wipes, formula category. I believe normally we are getting diapers and wipes in bulk once a month. Normally that costs around $60. So I'm just gonna budget $60 for that. Other than that, I think we are good. The only other thing I can think of is we do have a baby shower coming up at the end of the month. So maybe I'll budget $40 for that as well. So that lays out our money for September. Let's take a look at the income categories and see what that gives us. Okay, let's look at the financial overview to see kind of what we're looking at. So income versus bills, it leaves us with minus $475, but my husband should be getting some paychecks in here. So I think we'll actually be doing well this month. I know it says we're going to be down $475, but I really don't think that's going to be the truth. I think we might be a little bit up this month because of having the two incomes. So I guess we'll see. I guess we'll find out. But I actually really appreciated doing this sort of layout. I've never done anything like this before. I mean, I tried in January, February, but I really didn't do it ahead of time. I did it after the fact. But actually, there's one more category I just realized that I need to add a little bit of money in, which is the pet category. The guinea pigs. We have 3 guinea pigs, and I was thinking like, oh, these are not going to cost very much, blah, blah, blah. But they're between their hay, their guinea pig food, and their bedding, honestly, it's a little bit of an expense each month. So we're going to add $75 to the pet category, just for any miscellaneous expenses for the guinea pigs or for our cat, just in case. I don't know if we'll actually need that. So it actually puts us as $550 under what we have versus what we budgeted for. So we'll see if it works out. This is my goal. I'm going to share it with my husband and see if we can really stick to it. And I'll let you guys know next month how we stuck to the budget. Hopefully this will be more of like a monthly thing we do, and we can kind of check in really often on this. Other thing I want to do in these reset videos is this goal and habit tracker that I downloaded also in January. So I've already gone through and put in my yearly goals a while ago, but I want to make some more monthly goals that kind of go with my yearly goals. But I figured I'd start by sharing what my monthly goals are with each of you. So that being said, we're going to read through each of my goal categories, and then we're going to break them down into what I want my monthly goals to be for September. So my personal goals, the first one is just focus on my health, mental health, eating, wellness. That is something I've struggled with my whole life. I've had times where I've been really good, times where I've been really not good. And I really want to see that improve this year, or at least maintain and not get worse. So that is a big goal for me this month. The second goal is tidy the house better, have a routine for tidying. That is something that I'm continuously needing to be better at. I'm good at doing like a really good deep clean every once in a while, but I'm not good with the day-to-day tidying up here, tidying up there, making the house look nice day to day. So that's something I definitely want to get better at, especially because we rent right now. Eventually, when we own a house, I really just want to keep it in nice condition as much as possible. Number 3 is try therapy. That's something I've wanted to try for a long time and I just never have gotten around to. So that's a very easy one to tick off, but for some reason it's very intimidating to me. So we'll see if it ends up happening. And then last but not least for the personal goals is read 10 books this year. That one is already done. We actually have read like 68 books or something really ridiculous. So I blew that one out of the water. Last year I only read like 1 book. So I'm very impressed with myself for beating that goal so early in the year. Next up, we have some wellness goals. The first one is to complete 75 hard, medium, or soft, one of them. I've just had this as a goal for a long time. I've always carried it over year to year. One of these years I'm gonna do it. There was one time that I did do it and I got to like day 22 or something like that. And then I got super sick and it fell off. So I would love to kind of bring that up again and try to complete that again. The other one is run a 5K. That's something that's been a goal of mine since 2020. So it's been a long time coming. I actually found a 5K that I'm really interested in doing. So I might be ticking that one off soon. We'll see. Financial goals. I would love to flesh these out a little bit more, but these were just my general goals. The first one was an emergency fund of at least $1,000. Eventually, obviously, I want to have a fully funded emergency fund, like up to 1 month, up to 3 months, up to 3 to 6 months. But right now, just having any sort of emergency fund, even if it's only $1,000, would be a great feat for us. 2-income household, that's another big one. That's something that like, it's a consistency thing as well. So even though technically we're going to be having 2 incomes very shortly here, next week he starts at his new job, I'm not going to check this one off until the end of the year when it's been like a couple of months of 2 incomes, because I just want to be sure that we're actually doing this. And last but not least, pay down $25,000 worth of debt. I think so far we paid like $19,000 worth of debt this year, a little bit over that maybe. And so I think that this one is definitely attainable for this year. Especially with the end of year bonus coming, that should be able to go all towards debt. And that being said, I think it's very, very attainable. And last but not least, career goals. We have get back into the swing of YouTube. This was something after I had my second baby, I honestly struggled with so bad. I wanted to do YouTube, but I felt like intimidated by it, or just like I had no motivation for it. And now that my baby is a year old, all of a sudden I like feel like I come back to life a little bit. Maybe it's just like the lack of sleep was like really bringing me down, but all of a sudden I feel like I could definitely do it more. I've been posting more on my Lex Listens channel. I've been posting more on this channel. I've been posting a ton on TikTok. And so I really feel good about that. Next up, monetize all 3 YouTube channels. Currently, I have 2 out of the 3 channels monetized. I have my Alexa Jefferson channel that was monetized and Lex Listens that was monetized. And I also am hoping to monetize this one very shortly. It is honestly like this close, literally this close to being monetized. So that's been a big goal of mine for literally years. So hopefully I'll be able to get it done this year, and then I'll be able to earn some little income from these videos, from the ads on these videos. That would just be amazing and awesome, and would love to see that. Other than that, we have 10,000 followers on Out of Debt with Lex TikTok. I don't know if this is possible. It is currently at like 1,500 followers, so it's definitely a stretch goal. This might be a goal that carries over into next year. The main reason why I put it out here is because 10,000 followers is when you can be accepted into the Creator Rewards program. And so it's kind of a big deal on TikTok. I've been posting a ton over there, and I would love to get into the Creators Reward program and be able to earn a little extra income from TikTok. And also, we have very similarly 10,000 followers on the Lex Listens TikTok. Same reasons. That one I just started like last week or the week before. And I'm just basically like cross-posting items from the Lex Listens YouTube channel to the Lex Listens TikTok. So that's what that is. We're going to hop over to September and make some monthly goals. So kind of going based off of those yearly goals and trying to break them down into more of like a monthly goal, if that makes sense. That way we can check in every month and really like stay on top of if we're achieving our goals or not. So for personal goals, I think the main thing I want to focus on this month is learning to tidy better. So do a evening 20-minute tidy sesh. The main reason for this one, I don't want to say like have my house pristine all the time because I think that's unreasonable, but I do think if I implement like, hey, every night I'm going to do 20 minutes of like a little tidying session, that's a really good start to build habits. So we're going to go with that. I think that's going to be it for the personal goals for right now. I don't want to overwhelm myself for the first time of doing monthly goals like this. And I think that's really a good solid start. So for the month of September, my personal goal is to do a 20-minute tidy sesh every night. For wellness goals, I found, like I said, I found a 5K that I'm really interested in doing, but it starts on the 4th of October. That's when the run happens. And I have not trained to do a 5K in life forever. So that being said, I want to complete a 3-week training program for 5K. And that way, by the end of the month, I should be ready for that run and I can sign up for the run. So sign up for 5K is also going to be on this list. Okay, up next, financial goals. So for financial goals this month, I think it's going to be to use and stick to the budget. Obviously, we've already made the budget, but now we have to use it and stick to it and actually like do the budgeting things and not go way beyond. We've had like little things of trying to budget, but nothing good, I guess, if that makes sense. And I'm just gonna write 2 incomes all month because essentially that's what we're going to be trying to do this month. I think other than that, that's pretty much it for the financial goals section right now. I think in November, December, we might be able to get away with like having some more like debt specific payoff goals. Once we have had that income, we know what to expect, how much extra money we'll have, that type of thing. But right now it's just like, let's stick to the budget. Let's keep these 2 incomes, but we don't have much more than that. Career goals, I'm going to say consistently post on TikTok. Monetize Out of Debt with Lex YouTube channel. I think that's very reasonable for this month. I don't know if it'll happen this month. I don't think any of my other career goals are going to be that crazy to implement, but I think this is what I want to stick with. And maybe eventually, like once I've been doing this type of video for longer, I'll have more monthly goals that I'm trying to stick to each month. But I think this is a really solid start and it makes me really happy. So we'll see how it goes this month. This is pretty much all I had for this type of video. So let me know what you think down below if you like this style of video, if there's anything that I could do to change it or to update it or something you'd like to add. But yeah, I think that's it for today. And I will see you guys next time for my debt update for October. That's it. Bye guys.